Good morning. Today, I would like to welcome you to this topic that we are going to discuss today. That is chemical reactions. So, in these chemical reactions, we are going to learn how the atoms combine with the other atoms to form a stable compound or a stable molecule. So, this will be our today's discussion topic. Can you give some example for the chemical reaction that takes place in our daily life? Yes, few examples for these chemical reactions from our daily life are as follows, such as a milk kept at summer season. What changes can we observe in this milk that has kept in the summer season? The changes that can be observed in this milk is there will be a change in the smell and a change in the taste. We can say that. So this is a type of chemical reaction. It is an example for this chemical reaction that we see in our daily life. Examples can we observe that. The second example is rusting of iron. You may have observed that when the iron is kept or exposed to the atmosphere, that means the iron will react with the oxygen present in the air and it will form a rust. So what changes can we observe in this? We can observe that brown color material is deposited on iron when exposed to the humid air. So this is a type of chemical reaction that is happening with iron in the presence of oxygen. So we are referring it as a rusting of iron. So what do you mean by this chemical reaction? First, I have the initial substance. This is converted to the some new substance that is the final substances. So this conversion, how does this, what changes can we observe during this conversion from initial to the final substances? There can be there would be a two type of changes, such as physical changes. This means what? Change in state from solid to liquid, etc. And there would be a chemical changes. This means what? Breaking of old bonds and formation of new bonds. So this will be a chemical change that is happening in our initial substance, which is converted to the final substance. So initial substance, we are referring to it as a reactants, and the final substance we are referring it as a products. Now let us consider here two examples. The first example is burning of magnesium in air. So this is the diagram we have here. The magnesium ribbon is held with a tongue. It is burnt in the presence of a Bunsen burner. So when we have this magnesium, this is graying color. When we hold it in the presence of this flame, this is converted to the white powder, and this is collected in a watch glass. This white powder is a magnesium oxide. Magnesium ribbon is burnt in the presence of oxygen. It will form magnesium oxide powder. So this is a chemical reaction. So burning of magnesium ribbon in air is a chemical reaction. So how can be the change be recorded? What is the change here we can observe? What changes can we observe here? We can observe that change of color from gray to white. It is a type of chemical change. Due to the type of chemical change that is happening here, the color has changed from gray to white. So and further we can have the change of state from solid. It was a hard solid, but it became powder. Crystalline, that is amorphous type of powder. So this is a chemical change, we can say that. So this is an example for chemical reaction. Wherever there is a chemical change, that is a chemical reaction. We have that how to represent this chemical reaction. Can you write the word equation for burning of magnesium in air? So how can we write this word equation? So first I will write with, now this word equation is, first I have to write what are the elements I'm using as a reactant. The first one is reactant is magnesium. This I have used, so I wrote it in a word, and I am burning in the presence of what? Oxygen. So this will give me a compound that is magnesium oxide. This is a word equation. So how to represent this word equation in symbolic form? Now symbolic equation is, or we can say skeletal representation of above equation is, we can write that magnesium plus oxygen, this gives magnesium oxide. This is an unbalanced equation, so we are calling it as a skeletal representation. So what is the next type of chemical reaction example? Example of a next reaction is here, this reaction of zinc granules with the sulfuric acid. In this what we have is that we have one beaker. This beaker we have took some zinc granules. This zinc granules, then later on we are adding with this with a dilute sulfuric acid in a conical flask. When then I have kept one cork. Along with this cork I have placed one glass tube. So what happens is here, this zinc granules react with the dilute sulfuric acid. So what is the chemical change I can observe here? So I can observe the changes, change in temperature, evolution of the gas, such as this H2 gas is evolved here. What is the chemical reaction involved here? The chemical word equation here is, so we have converted it into a symbol Zn plus S2SO4. It means zinc. Here zinc is reacting with sulfuric acid. So it would give what? Zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas, like that. So this is about the reaction of zinc granules with sulfuric acid. So what the next thing I have here? So what is the observation I have did is that what are what is the what are the changes that can be observed during a chemical reaction? So I have the changes that chemical reaction should have a change of color. The change in color also represents a type of chemical change that is happening, that is a chemical reaction. And we can also observe the change in the temperature, and change in gas, evolution of gas is also taking place during the chemical reaction. And one more thing is that change in taste. These are the observations we have recorded during a chemical reaction. So this is all about this chemical reaction. Chemical reaction means a type of chemical change that is happening, that is we are calling it as a chemical reaction. If a chemical change is taking place, then it is called chemical reactions. So thank you.